Iran continued to launch waves of missile and drone strikes targeting US military bases in the region and Israel in retaliation for a massive attack that killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. As Iran confirmed Khamenei's death, its Revolutionary Guards vowed to launch the most ferocious operation in history against Israel and United States bases. Hours later, Iranian state TV claimed that 27 US bases in the region, as well as Israel's military headquarters and a defense industries complex in Tel Aviv, were targeted. Blasts were heard across the Gulf, including Dubai, Doha, and the Bahrainian capital, Manama. Interceptions also took place over Israel and occupied West Bank. The attack came even as US President Trump warned Iran against escalation. In a social media post, Trump said Iran just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever hit before. They better not do that, however, because if they do, we will hit them with a force that has never been seen before. Ali Larijani, the Secretary of Iran's Security Council, justified that attack, saying American bases are not the territory of regional countries. They are American territories. He said that Iran does not intend to attack regional countries, but when the bases in the region are in the service of America, they will be attacked. Iran has already been targeting American bases in the Gulf. On Saturday, the United Arab Emirates said that 137 missiles and 209 drones were fired at its territory. The country's defense ministry said that 2 people were killed in Abu Dhabi, including a Pakistani civilian. Witnesses in Dubai said they heard an explosion and saw a missile streak across the sky. Smoke and flames rose from Dubai landmark, the Palm. A US base in Bahrain witnessed a missile attack. The missiles targeted a center that served as the headquarters for the US Navy's 5th Fleet. Bahrain's Interior Ministry confirmed that several residential buildings in the capital were hit in another wave of Iranian strike. Qatar's Defense Ministry said it had intercepted several missile attacks targeting the Gulf state. Loud explosions were heard in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. Israel's Megan David Adom Emergency Service said a woman was killed and at least 21 injured in the Tel Aviv area. The Israeli military said it deployed search and rescue teams to multiple locations across the country following reports of fallen projectiles. Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Syria, the UAE and Israel all closed their airspaces to civilian traffic, at least in part, and multiple airlines cancelled flights to the Middle East. Russia cancelled commercial flights to both Iran and Israel until further notice. Iran's Revolutionary Guards also moved to close the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway through which much of the world's oil and gas passes. Well, for more on this, we were earlier joined by the West Asia analyst, and we are now again being joined by Dr. Avner Cohen from Monterey, California. Well, Doctor, is the security guarantee dead? Like Iran previously suggested that GCC neutrality would grant them, immunity since the February 28 attacks targeted US bases within GCC territories anyway. Does the GCC now view diplomatic hedging as a failed strategy?
Well, we haven't heard a collective view of the regional security organizations. I think that there is a slight difference between the states. They prefer not to take yet a full position on that. Essentially, the only state in the region that has not been attacked is Oman, that was the neutral mediator and actually was lobbying against American attack. All the others were attacked. It's not also clear that Iran is able to keep that kind of intensity for how long. I mean, Iran is now fighting essentially 7 regional elements in the region, 7 states essentially, plus Israel, plus US forces at sea as well as in its bases. Iran has difficulties in that kind of situation, and I don't think, despite all the claims and all the propaganda, they'll be able to carry it on. From the attacks that we see in Israel, which I mentioned, brick by brick, as opposed to a barrage of missiles, it seems that they have difficulties to keep the intensity. So it's still the second day, the beginning of the second day, and we'll see. But as I said, there is no yet collective action by the regional Security Council of the Gulf states.
Right, and now that coming in on the next question, now that Iran has moved from using proxies to direct state-on-state strikes against GCC members, has the red line for a full-scale regional war being permanently crossed? Because that is what we heard Ali Larijani said, that US and Israel has crossed the red line.
I think so. And also, I think red line was crossed from the point of view of the JCC states. The kind of escalation that we are witnessing right now in the Middle East is unlike. It's really a major fault line is being shaken, is being moved and redrawn. We cannot tell how it's going to be redrawn, but it's a kind of regional conflict with the magnitude that we have not seen before for many, many years. As I said, it's much more than in June 25. It's something quite spectacular. And I think the JCC states are going to be more and more very much like Saudi Arabia against the Iran. I think the damage, even though it looks bad in terms of TV and the like, because all those countries are very, very vulnerable. In terms of real damage, it's not that much, and I don't think that Iran will be able to keep the intensity of this attack much, much further. But remains to be seen.